notion of community practice in the context of the PCDK project was reflected in its educational component. Stakeholders were involved in all activities and played a constructive role. In this capacity, the task of producing an university module on heritage and diversity began by establishing two working groups. One group comprised of university students and academics from Pristina and the other group from Mitrovica. Their role was to actively contribute on shaping the module content. The idea of producing an elective course module for students by students and academics initially started with orientation meetings, introducing the objectives of PCDK. The main focus was university module and its particular approach. Students and academics were introduced into the process by being presented with a brief insight of the action plan, objectives, vision and methodology of process implementation. It is important to emphasize that module is a representation of our approach to cultural heritage and cultural diversity, which is multidisciplinary in its essence. Students who were part of the process were coming from different fields of social and natural sciences, like architecture, environment, archaeology, etc., etc. With the inclusion of two local experts, Mrs. Jelena Vukicevic and Mr. Artan Muhajiri, both working groups provided their views, needs, recommendations and perspectives on learning about heritage and diversity. Both experts set the norms of action, drafted and implemented planned activities. Through a close monitoring process, they ensured a smooth and consistent progress throughout the project.
Proces stvaranja studijskog programa u grupi koju sam opisala prethodno je bio jako energičan, da tako kažem. Predstavljao je jaku buru različitih ideja, ali pored ideja i sukoba mišljenja i stavova i svega ostalog, ali nekako mi se čini da upravo iz tog razloga je i na kraju se pokazao kao efektivan i uspešan.
Rohet parë është shumë kënaqësi për me qenë pjesë e grupës, edhe diçka që të pëlqen shumë është komunikimi mes grupit. Tu nis prej komunikimit në grup që është shumë i ndryshëm, na jep mundësinë për me gjetë edhe hapësira tjera në mendime dhe në shprehje për me e plotësu veten në aspektin e kursit I cili krijohet.
Engagement of international expert Mrs. Kirsty Norman enabled working groups to expand the perspectives on learning about the cultural heritage and diversity. The workshop with international experts presented students a new methodology and didactic approach utilized in University College London.
I believe that development of such university module is a very grassroots and pioneer act in the region. In this regard, we need to acknowledge the involvement and commitment of all participants who made this process possible. Local NGOs with their invaluable and practical insight, as well as assisting with visits, academics with their commitment to pure nature of cultural heritage and cultural diversity, students who made time and were present throughout the process.
During the site visits organized by local NGOs, working groups had the opportunity to have first-hand experience of the methodology of experiential learning. After each visit to a heritage site, students and academics summarized the learnings of the day by having a joint reflection session with the respective local experts. In this context, working groups also were engaged in compiling the assessment tool, which assisted local experts to prioritize the contents of the module.
Kroz nekoliko studijskih posjeta različitim mestima od kulturnog značaja I objektima od kulturnog značaja u okolini ovdje na Kosovo, ali I u jednom delu Italije, uspjeli nekako, barem se meni tako čini, da razmišljamo na neki drugi način i sa nekog drugog aspekta o ovoj temi.
Shumica prej tyre për herë të parë kanë mundësi që në mënyrë empirike, domethënë në mënyrë konkrete me u ballafaqu me pjesë të trashëgimisë kulturore edhe me një anë cilën rrallë herë e kanë pas rastin më pak.
Cultural diversity sessions engaged a range of mediums to trigger dialogue within each of the respective groups. Films, discussions, essays, and working sessions were applied to enhance the perspectives of different aspects of cultural diversity. The outcomes of each working session on cultural diversity embodied significant data for local experts to include in the diversity sections of the module.
Janë zhvillu tema interesante dhe dialogu që zhvillu mes nesh ka qenë shumë produktiv. Unë ka marrë shumë njohuri qoftë nga kolegët tonë nga debati që zhvillu, mirë po edhe nga dokumentarët cilët kemi përcjell dhe ajo ka qenë mjaft tërheqëse të atraktive për mua që kam qenë pjesëmarrëse në këto sesione të diversitetit.
Joint study visit in Italy marked the first joint activity for both groups. Students and academics from Pristina and Mitrovica had the opportunity to exchange views and participated in a workshop with experts, site visits in significant heritage sites of Italy. Students also had the possibility to visit the university in Viterbo, where they received information on current methodologies of practical learning on heritage in Italy from local professors. Participants were also introduced to heritage management by a Heritage Council of Siena and were given a heritage prospectus of the city through years by tour guides.
Ky shembull I këtij moduli që do të bëhet, do t'ju shërbej edhe degëve e fakulteteve të tjera, edhe mësimdhënësve, po edhe projekte të tjera për të bërë diçka të tillë, për shkak se është një mësim teaching by doing, kisha me I thonë.
Eto, ja sam zaista stvarno jako srećna zbog ove priče koja nekako nije uopšte još uvijek prošla. Sad eto čekamo tu konačnu verziju programa I nekako sam baš ushićena da vidim prve studente u tim učionicima, posebno zato što je prva godina.
Tash ndoshta nuk është modesti me thonë, po jam jashtëzakonisht I kënaqur me gjithë spari me procesin e pastaj edhe me rezultatet. Për arsye se mendoj se përveç rezultateve ka rëndësi që ne të krijojmë një traditë të krijimit të moduleve duke u bazuar në nevojat konkrete.
What we have now is a very exciting product, and it is very important that universities both in Kosovo and region understand the value of this module and seek opportunities to use in their programs to keep these efforts alive.
In addition to providing academic and intellectual insight on cultural heritage and cultural diversity, we are very optimistic that this university module will trigger greater interest among students for their professional development in areas of social and cultural studies, while applying creative methodologies of experiential learning. By the end of October, the university module was finalized. We hope that 14 weeks of academic learning practices on cultural heritage and diversity will enable students to come up with new perspectives of knowledge from experience, activities, dialogues and games that the module offers.